21-year-old Ramila Siongdin never considered the possible consequences of her husband's decision to work abroad. Now she can't ignore them. Laid out before her, the body of her husband, which arrived hours ago on a flight from Saudi Arabia. The paperwork says the healthy 36-year-old committed suicide there. Not a single person here believes it. I don't think so. He said he would go abroad, see the place, and earn as much money as he could for the children and come back. I think somebody killed him, his wife said. The couple has a 10-month-old baby. The father was a former police officer and had been working in Saudi Arabia for less than a month without any complaints. When my son went, I thought that he would earn money for the family, but his dead body came back instead, his father said. This family's story is not unusual in Nepal. Every day, more than 1,000 Nepalis leave from the airport to go work overseas, and every single day, some of them come back in coffins. The official reason for the deaths vary, but once the bodies make it to Nepal, they are rarely investigated farther.
On an average per day, 2 to 3 coffins are coming back to Nepal, mostly from Gulf countries.
Sociologist Ganesh Gurung says Nepali workers attracted by good money abroad often face awful problems. Are Nepali workers facing physical abuse by their employer?
Yes, mostly domestic housemaids, female domestic housemaids.
This woman was one of them. We are not going to identify her. She stands before us 7 months pregnant and tells us the baby inside her is a product of rape. The father, she says, was her employer in Kuwait. He beat me up. First, he covered my mouth so I could not scream, she says. After he did that, I asked for my passport. He wouldn't give it to me. She told us for 1.5 years she was paid, but then the payment stopped and the beating started. She says after being raped, she fled to the Nepali embassy in Kuwait. She now lives in a shelter with other maids recovering from abuse abroad. What do you plan to do with the baby? I wanted to get rid of this baby, but they told me that it was not possible because my life would be endangered. Now the baby's going to be born. She plans to give the baby away. For more than 10 years, Nepal banned women from traveling abroad to Gulf countries for work after the suicide of a Nepali maid who complained of abuse in Kuwait. But the need to survive surpassed fear, and women did it illegally. The government lifted the ban in 2010. Now the lines for foreign work visas are as long as ever, even as the stories of despair keep coming home. Human labor is Nepal's largest export. Every single day, more than 1,000 Nepalis leave this country to work overseas. And the money that they send back into the country to their families makes up about 1/4 of the gross domestic product here. Masino Tamang is going abroad for the second time to find work, even though he says he suffered from back-breaking work the first time and couldn't make enough money. This time, he's getting training and trying again. I'm not going because I want to, he says. People have money problems. If I stay home, I won't be able to earn anything. The government has now mandated any citizen going to work abroad must attend an orientation course. Private companies like SOS Manpower offer skills training and safety training to villagers who will be working on buildings on a scale they have never seen before. But nothing can prepare these men for the searing desert heat in the countries where they will work. The heat has often been suspected in workers' deaths. We wanted to know what else the government is doing to protect workers abroad. Nepal's prime minister sat down with us. Have you gone diplomatically to the country's leaders themselves and said, help us fix this problem?
Yes, we have done it. We have instructed our missions in those countries to take these issues seriously. But the main problem still is, as long as we can provide jobs to the people within our own country and they are forced to migrate, then they will use illegal channels, and when they go there illegally, and then they don't have legal protections.
Prime Minister Bhattarai has a plan to bring more jobs to his country, but concedes that could take years. Far too late for the men and women who come back home in a box for simply trying to create a better life by working abroad. Sarah Seidner, CNN, Kathmandu, Nepal.